What's up, everyone? Kriddle here, and I want to go over another deck that one of my longtime viewers showed me. He sent it over to me on Discord. So I'm going to kind of go over that deck here today. It is a Hero Synergy deck. We have it right here. I'm going to stop using Pixelborn to show you some of these things, but I wanted to still use Pixelborn today to show you that we did get 7 and 3 for our 10 games that we played. I do try to play 10 games in each of the decks to kind of see how they work. So we did get 7 and 3, which was pretty good. I was kind of surprised by that. But let's go over the deck real quickly. So this is a Hero Synergy deck. Basically, we are taking different heroes and making them all work together. And there's a couple things that you can change about this deck. You can actually make it a very budget-friendly deck if you want to, by taking out Beast here and putting in Hans in place of them. But I'll tell you why you may or may not want to do that. So anyway, let's go over some of the cards here. We do have Aladdin. Most of these are going to be heroes. We have Anna here. We got Aurora, Judy Hopps, another Aladdin that we can shift into this Aladdin, which is the only reason, by the way, that we're going to have these winter camps down here. You don't really want to use the winter camp for the most part. If you have to end up using the winter camp, the game probably took too long and you're most likely going to lose. However, the good thing about this deck is that you actually can win in turn 5 or 6, and usually you do win within turn 5 or 6. If you don't and it starts dragging out a little bit too long, you need to win very quickly. Otherwise, this deck doesn't really hold up super well. So I wouldn't put it as a competitive deck, but I would say it's very good casually. And like I said, I did play it in the ranked games, and we did get 7 wins out of the 10 games that we played, which is pretty good for the decks that I usually play through Pixelborn. So we do have a Prince here. It's another hero character. This one has Resist. It's a great turn 3 card to protect some of your other heroes. I would say getting out Anna on turn 2 is very, very strong. Maybe getting an Aladdin out on turn 1, Anna on turn 2, and then getting a Prince out on turn 3 and going ahead blocking using the Bodyguard plus the Resist, and that allows you to quest for 2 with Anna because you have another hero out. If you don't get that Aladdin out, that's not a big deal, but definitely want to get out this Anna on turn 2. And then have this Prince to protect it. You can then use, if you want to, the Popsicles. When you pop those out, have them heal your Prince if people do attack it. That did help me quite a bit several times where I was able to heal the Prince back up. You have the Phil over here. This Phil is not a hero. However, he works with the heroes, and he gives all of your heroes Challenger +1 that are out on the board. And whenever you play a hero character, you gain 1 lore. So this is a very good one to have out. And don't actually quest with it unless you can win the game by questing with it. I did quest with him a couple of times, and I ended up losing him. And I kind of learned from my playthrough, just leave him out. Don't quest with him. Force the other player to somehow exert him or take him out with spells, something along those lines. And it really helps out quite a bit. You'll be able to get the Challenger on there and use some of your other characters to do a little bit of damage and take out their characters. Tiana, another really good one, especially once you get into about turn 4 or 5. If you can get a Tiana out there, this is not a draw-friendly deck, so you're not going to be getting a lot of cards. The only way you can really draw is going to be Beast over here and then a whole new world. And I can honestly say that you could probably take both of those cards out and replace them with something different, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. But I do have them in here to get those extra cards. So the Tiana card will allow you to get Tiana out on turn 4 or turn 5. And then she prevents, as long as she is exerted, she prevents them from using actions, which is really nice because then they can only go after your cards or your characters by attacking directly, and they would have to go through your Bodyguard first. So it really does help that out quite a bit to have that Tiana out. I was not able to get her to function too well, though, so be mindful of that you need to have her out and exerted for her ability to take off. But she does have 2 resist on her and 4 willpower, making her very, very strong if you do get her out and get her into play. So we do have another Aurora here. This Aurora is very good. So once you get this Aurora out, these you can see that most of these all have 2 lore, by the way. So most of your characters, when you quest with them, are going to gain 2 lore at minimum. This one will also be 2 lore, even though it's a 2-cost card. It'll be 2 lore because you have another hero out. This Aurora is a 2-cost card, but then you can shift her into this Aurora here, creating a ward for all of your other characters, which again prevents them from using items and songs to take out your characters, which is highly needed in this because you want your characters to be out as long as possible for at least 2 or 3 rounds, gaining all that lore. So you're going to be gaining lore starting at round 2, and then every single round after that you want to try to gain as much lore as possible. We're going to skip Beast for now. We're going to talk about him in a minute, other than the draw card of him. So the Let the Storm Rage On is another very good card to have, just to help you draw a little bit and do a little bit of damage to try to take out their early cards. That's what I mostly used it for, is I would get like the Prince out, or maybe get Phil out, and then I would use Let the Storm Rage On either through ink, or I would sing it, get that extra card draw, and do 2 damage to take out some of their other cards. So like, for example, Diablo right now is a very common card being played against everybody, and taking out that Diablo so they don't draw more cards is very beneficial. Strength of a Raging Fire is nice because you're going to end up having several characters out, at least 3 or 4 at a time, because you're going to be getting them out very quickly. This is a low cost deck, so the highest cards are going to be 5. So you're going to be getting these cards out very quickly. And then Grab Your Sword is another good one. It just kind of clears the board. If they get out, let's say, 3 or 4 other characters on turn 5, and you have 3 or 4 characters out and you still haven't won yet, you can go ahead and throw a Grab Your Sword out there and get rid of all their characters so that you can quest again for maybe 1 additional turn. That's kind of what Grab Your Sword is going to be for. And then finally, we talked about the Winter's Camp, which is just going to be taking for Aladdin to shift into the better Aladdin, basically. Whenever this character quests, you may banish chosen items, so this is a very good one to have against those Sapphire decks that have a lot of items out there that may be preventing you from doing what you need to do. So I was very surprised by this deck, and it did much better than I expected it to. And I'm going to try to maybe tweak it a little bit and take it into a local game store and try to play some of my games in a local game store instead of doing them on Pixelborn. I'm hoping to get more of a physical set going so that I'm able to test out more builds for you guys, since that Pixelborn is going to be going away. So like I said, you could take out Beast here, and you could potentially take out a whole new world if you wanted to, and you could swap either of those with Hans. So we'll take a quick look at Hans. If we go to the deck builder here, you could actually take out both of those, and you could put this Hans right here in. Now, he is not a hero. However, he does work with some of the other characters, because you do have Anna, and you have Aurora and Tiana, and that might be it. But you have several different princesses and queens. So when you play this character, if a princess or queen character is in play, gain 1 lore. So it's an extra free lore if you have another character in play, which would just kind of help you out. And it's also a 2 lore character by itself, and it's much cheaper than either of those 2 other cards. So you could take away, about $110, $120 away, making this a really, really good, solid budget deck. Anyway, hopefully this helps you out, and if it does, please like, subscribe, follow. I do stream daily over on Twitch. We do have a Discord where we discuss a lot of Lorcana things, and we're going to be opening up a lot of packages and stuff here soon. I've got some new Lorcana cards from Inkborn, and let's see, we have a new playmat and things like that, so I'm going to be doing an unboxing of a lot of that stuff here soon over the weekend, and hopefully be able to play the new Lumineers Quest game. I'm really looking forward to that. My son and I like to play co-op games together quite often, so we'll probably do an unboxing of that and then play the game and kind of show you how that is played. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!